Hello everyone and welcome to another PHATcast, although today it's more like a bit of a Fincast, as I have joked to Gavin about earlier, because it's just me and Gavin today. It's just me and Gavin, me and Gaming98, and we're just wanting to talk about the Nintendo Direct, the recent one. I think it was like only a few days ago, wasn't it? So it's all fresh in the memory. What did you think of it overall, Gavin? Because I thought it was one of the best Directs we've had, to be honest.
I agree. It's one of the best they've ever had over the last, in the last few years, really. After so many ones, we finally got one that I think was pretty much an A.
Yeah, definitely. I thought as well, like, because, after the last Smash reveal, we knew, okay, that's going to be one thing that isn't going to be in Directs anymore. So I think a lot of people were like, no, it's not going to be as good, I've got nothing to look forward to. I'm thinking, hang on a minute, that's just one thing out of the whole Direct. So the fact that they can come out swinging and be like, no, we've got loads more to show you, that really impressed me.
And oh boy, did they have something to show us.
They did indeed, and we're going to be talking about that. In fact, I've got pretty much everything noted down that they showed. I just thought, like, just for people listening as well, I'm going to sort of say, I'm going to go through each one. We're going to do what comments if we have any, on each game. And I'm just going to sort of go through the release dates as well, because all of this, really, apart from a couple games, is coming out up to the summer. So that's a very packed first half of the year, which isn't usually the case for Nintendo. They usually have everything in the second half of the year.
Yeah. It's going to be a real busy summer, especially.
Oh yeah, summer is crammed, to say the least. It's definitely one of them Directs really where I noted so many stuff down because I thought, oh yeah, I want to buy that, I want to buy this. That I've actually had to think, right, okay, what do I really need? Because I might have to put some to the side to wait for a while. So, but yeah, we'll start off with the opener. It was a bit of a weak opener, I will say. It's for Fire Emblem Three Hopes, which is a warrior. It's like a warrior style sequel. Is it a sequel? I don't think it is it? To Three Houses. I don't think me and you have played Three Houses, have we?
No, not currently.
No.
I don't know if it might be a sequel because, as somebody pointed out there, the characters are in there, um, like post time skip designs. Like
Oh, I
I
see.
don't
Yeah.
I don't really know the context, but that's what I've heard. So it actually might be like a sequel.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I am planning to play Three Houses eventually. I'm just a bit behind with the series at the moment, so I think you're the same, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah. Like I'm barely into the series as it is, so
Mm.
I'm not really in any rush to play the games.
No. And but what I will say is that I don't think you played Age of Calamity either, did you? The Hyrule Warriors sequel.
No, I didn't.
No, that was actually, I thought that was such a massive improvement over the original Hyrule Warriors. So if this does the same, like the same upgrades and what have you, for the Fire Emblem Warriors, that might actually be a game to look forward to in the future once I do play Three Houses. So
Well, we'll just have to wait and see on that one.
we will. I mean, this is one of the summer games that are coming out. It's coming out June 24th, so only a few months away. Not one to wait. Probably not one that I think me and you will be picking up, but it's there if people want it, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one that I am interested in now is the Advance Wars Reboot Camp, 1+2. Yeah, I mean was supposed to come out in December last year, but unfortunately got delayed.
Unfortunately, that's not really a bad thing. You
I
do
suppose
remember
not.
what Mr. Miyamoto says.
That is true. That is true. And I think they specifically came out actually and said the game just needs a bit more time in the oven, didn't they? I think they were pretty transparent about it. So
Yeah, which I'm at least glad that's something Nintendo does do is if they have to delay a game, they'll just tell us they
yeah,
need more time. Well, it's not Nintendo that's developing this game, wasn't it? Way Forward.
it is way forward. Yeah, so
Yeah,
yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
the art style just screams Way Forward. Also,
Mm.
I think it's a really big honor that this basically indie developer is now working with one of the biggest video game companies in the world now.
Yeah, that's also a big thing, I think. Was it? I can't remember if it was. No, it was. I don't think it was. I don't think it was Way Forward who made Wargroove, was it?
I don't recall.
Let me quickly check. I apologise for the typing noises. Wargroove is developed by. Oh no, it's not. It was developed by Chucklefish. Yeah, no, it's not made by Way Forward.
Nice keyboard sounds, by the way. Am I
Yeah,
right?
sorry,
Am I right,
sorry.
folks?
um,
Don't tell him.
but I will say the animation for this game looks incredible. I know some might be divisive on maybe the art style. It looks like very, toy-y, like a bit of a
Yeah,
board
it does
game.
look like a very diorama-like kind of design. But at
Mm,
the same time, well, how did you imagine it on the Game Boy Advance?
mm. I think the only thing that puts me off a bit is it don't put me off at all. Like I love the look of the game, but I can see someone's argument for that because of the borders around the arenas. It doesn't. You can very much see that the arena ends, so that might take some people out of it. I don't know. It won't take me out of it because I think everything else looks incredible, especially the animations of the characters.
So what is it with video game remakes these days, splitting people when it comes to the art style? Like, we had it for the
No,
Link's Awakening remake, we had it for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, even though I think that's kind of justified, and now we got it here with the Advance Wars remakes.
yeah, but I don't think you can even complain about the actual style of the characters and the way they move. It's just so fluid.
Yeah,
Very
that's how you know it was a way for game, because it really does look like it jumped straight out of a Shantae game, that animation.
Yeah, especially the more recent ones, which had a lot more animation in it. So,
Yeah.
and I think there's going to be. I've only played the original Advance Wars. I didn't finish it, so I'm looking forward to revisiting it. But the fact that they've got a load more modes and even a level editor, that's going to increase the replayability of the game tenfold.
Yeah, well, I hope that, the Advance Wars fans do like this game, because I can't, say anything about it because I've never played any of the Advance Wars games. I just, realized that it's been a while since the last game. I think it was like Dark Conflict
Oh,
on the DS, and that was like the really weird, gritty, like more realistic Advance Wars. Like, I'm more confused than anything at that, because you look at the other Advance Wars games, they're a bit more colorful, and this one's like really gritty and edgy. And then I remembered, oh yeah, that was the 2000s.
yeah,
It
especially
fits
the
with
late
the time
2000s.
period.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Nah,
imagine my surprise when Advance Wars got, well, made a comeback, which it's not the only franchise that's making a comeback
no,
this year,
definitely not. No.
which we'll get into soon.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And of course, Advance Wars is coming out on April the 8th, so or 8th of April. I've typed in American dates here for some reason, but yeah, 8th of April. Advance Wars is coming out. I'm really looking forward to it. I had it on pre-order actually last year, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it. The next one to come up was No Man's Sky. We're getting a No Man's Sky onto the Switch. Not a game I'm particularly interested in. I don't know if you feel the same way, Gavin.
I'm indifferent either way. Like, I
Yeah.
know I do remember all the controversy when the game came out.
Oh boy, yeah.
Yeah, but apparently the game is actually really good. Like, I wish more developers did that, where they got a huge amount of backlash for their game, but they decided that they're just gonna actually try to fix it.
You've got to give
You
him
know,
like big kudos for that because it's been years. He's been adding to it for years to the point where to get where it's at now.
yeah, I know. The, the, the biggest apology in recent gaming history.
Oh yeah, I mean, I watched a video. It was about how it said. I think the video was literally just, "Oh, No Man's Sky is good now," or what have you. And I watched it, and I didn't realize how like many expansions and how much has been added to the game since launch. It's actually incredible. So
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
I mean, sorry, what was you going to say, Gavin?
well, I'm actually impressed that it's gonna come to the Switch. Like, I'm actually wondering how well it will run on the Switch, because when
Mm,
it comes to ports of big games like this, they usually hit or miss on the Switch. So I'm actually really curious to see how it fares.
definitely depends who's porting it. Because like yeah, like you said, like it's very 50-50. I find. I can tell you now, the performance probably will take a hit.
W- Well, judging from the gameplay footage that we saw, if that was based on the Switch version, it actually looks like it's gonna hold up pretty well.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah, I've got the trailer here right now.
the environments still look really damn good if it
Mm.
is the Switch version that they were showing.
I can't remember what it was, but I swear in like a previous direct, or it was a trailer they announced for a part of a game. They showed that someone noticed that it was like the Xbox button or what have you. So it was like they'd shown Xbox footage in the Nintendo Switch trailer, and it was like really, it was like oh shit, so it's not the Switch footage then. I can't remember what game it was, but I remember that being a big thing.
Oh, I don't remember this. I haven't even heard of this.
Right, okay. Well, I might be just talking out my ass then, but no, yeah, No Man's Sky's coming in the summer, so another game for the summer for you. It's gonna. We usually say that. Very rarely do you get to say that it's like the summer of games, but it's going to be this summer definitely because there's a big one coming, and that is Mario Strikers Battle League Football. Uh, I was so surprised to see this because this is one of the Mario sports titles that hasn't had a release since the Wii was the last one.
Yeah, 15 years ago.
15 years ago. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's
I
actually
mean,
a game I actually got charged with the Wii, so it was one of the games I got with the Wii when I first got it, and I loved it.
yeah, well, it was a relatively early release on the Wii,
Mm.
which is funny because Mario Smash Football on the GameCube was a late GameCube release.
Yeah, I mean, I got weirdly enough, actually. Yeah, Mario Smash Football was the first GameCube game I got given because I got given that early for my birthday. I got my GameCube and Mario Smash Football like a couple of days early because I knew what I was going to get and I was just begging my parents to get it, so they let me play it early, but without a memory card. So I had to like try and play through it all in one sitting, which was that was gruel. Uh, but no, I loved Smash Football, and I thought Charge Football or Charge took it to the next level. I thought it was brilliant as well. I don't think I've seen too many new things in this game. It's more so like the online modes and stuff, which seems to be a bit more fleshed out. Because the online on the Wii one was not good.
No, it wasn't.
Did you play? Did you play Charge as well, then, Gavin?
Yeah, I did. I actually got it when it first came out, and yeah, I liked it, even if it was brutally difficult in the later part of the game, especially
Yes.
something like the events where you basically had to win under certain conditions. Like, yeah, Mario Strikers Charge is proper difficult.
It's also got the art style to back it up. It's like one of the most unique looking Mario games, which is something
Yeah,
that everyone loves about it.
yeah, it's super edgy and gritty, and that
Mm.
that was the main reason why I thought the series was dead because Nintendo didn't really like it. So I
Well,
really thought the series was dead after Strikers Charge was taking so long for a new game to come out. But then, well, I think it was like last year, something rather unexpected happened, and that was Nintendo purchasing Next Level Games, the developers of
yes.
Mario Strikers. That I think was like a hint that we actually could see a new Mario Strikers game
Mm.
because
I always remember like next level games because of the when it comes up and it goes next level games is. I always remember that
yeah,
from
and
Charge.
also because of the fact that Next Level Games have barely done anything for Nintendo. They've made the Mario Strikers games, they've done Luigi's Mansion 2 and 3,
Mm.
they did the Punch Out reboot on Wii, and that's really all they've done for Nintendo. So I actually hope we get to see more games from them going forward now that they're actually part of Nintendo themselves.
Especially because I didn't play Luigi's Mansion 3, but I've heard that next level they are next level at character animations and
Oh, yeah.
characterization in general.
Oh yeah, Luigi's Mansion 3 is absolutely brimming with personality. Like it's
Mm.
honestly a shame that you're not interested in playing it because I think you appreciate it just based on its presentation alone. Because it is some of the best on the Switch.
Mm. Yeah, I'll try and get around to it eventually. I definitely want to play the first couple first, but I suppose that's
It,
like another issue entirely.
it also has a really fun multiplayer mode.
Is that a scare scraper?
Yeah, it is, but it's been like reworked from the second game. It's actually a bit more refined. It's just a lot more fun now.
Yeah. I remember you saying that. Oh god, there's a spider on the floor. Hang on. I'm just gonna. Okay, it's
Thing
just a
I'm
little one.
not there.
Yeah, I know. You would have screamed. No, it was. No, it's gone. All right, it's fine. It's fine, but it's also scary because I don't know when it's going to come back.
Use your diamond sword on it.
But I've got my Witcher sword here. I might use that. Might be a bit overkill though. Uh,
I don't care. It deserves it.
so yeah, I mean the art style. I think it captures. It's not as. It don't look as gritty as as Charge, but I think it has a really good mesh between like modern Mario and the Charge and the Strikers art style. I think like it's more colourful, but it's also keeping that more edgy sort of comic kind of style to it. And something I love about Mario Strikers in general is just the fact that all the characters are just so angry all the time.
It's so out of character, but it's so funny. Like,
Exactly, yeah.
especially Daisy in Striker's Charge. Like, oh, what a sight that is.
She just wants to kill. It's so funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the only thing that I saw that was really new was because the Hyper Strike. I think that's kind of like the other games where you can like if you hold the ball for long enough with the captain, you can do like a super strike and maybe get more than one goal at a time. But the only other thing that I saw new really was the gear system. You know, a bit like Mario Kart, where you can change gear out to change your stats and what have you.
Yeah, character customization basically.
Yeah, which it's going to be odd, but I mean, like Mario Kart, they always used to have certain characters in different weight classes and that, and it might be a bit like this, where in the other games, each character had their own stat based on like, oh, Mario was balanced, Bowser was more geared towards power, sort of thing. So you might just be able to customize any character to play how you want them to, which I think is a better thing, to be honest. Funnily enough, actually, the last thing I'll say about it is, sorry, there's a couple more things actually I forgot to talk about with it, but the background, when it first came up for the trailer, I thought it was like a trailer for the Nintendo theme park in Japan.
Yeah,
It
I can
looks
see
really
why.
like it.
Well, yeah, I know what you mean.
And even in the background of the trailer, like even looking on the mountaintops and that, you'd be like, I swear that's the theme park.
Maybe that was like an intentional reference. Who knows?
It maybe, yeah. I was thinking, oh, could it be something like, oh, they're building a football stadium in like the theme park and doing it Mario themed, and like it's going to be for the next World Cup or what have you. But that'd be too cool. um, yeah, and the online modes I will quickly say as well. Apparently, you can play 8 players at a time. Was that locally or is that online or is that local?
Don't see how it would be local,
It's,
honestly.
it says up to 8 players. I don't know. I mean, you have 8 player
I'm
Smash
just
locally, don't you?
how is it even gonna work? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, you
I,
can do, yeah, local matches, 8 player, it says.
oh, okay.
That's
So,
crazy.
all right.
That's
Yeah.
going to be cool, though, because everyone's going to be, like, responsible for one character on the pitch. That'll be fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully the online will be good. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah. I mean, look, they've got the new online infrastructure going, and all of these games, especially now that Mario Party has been on it, and Monster Hunter Rise, I think, was on, like, a prototype of it. Every Nintendo game should be on this infrastructure going forward, so I mean, hopefully it's good. You've also got online clubs as well, which would be awesome. If a load of us get the game and we all like enter into one club, that'll be cool because then we can like team up and face other teams online. It's gonna be a really fun multiplayer game, I think, if enough people get it in our friend group.
Oh, I'm gonna get it, but probably not immediately at launch. But
Yeah.
sometime after, yeah, it's on my radar.
Well, it's coming out June 10th for anyone who's super excited about it. There is a couple other games coming around that time, so I might not get it at launch either. Depends what you guys do, because if I've got no one to play it with, then it might not be as fun. So, but the next thing that they showed was Splatoon 3. What are your thoughts on Splatoon 3, Gavin? Because I know you played a lot of 2, especially with me. Me and you played quite a bit of 2.
Yeah, well, I am optimistic for Splatoon 3. I mean, I'm mainly hoping that they just keep what was good about Splatoon 2. Like, we know Salmon One's coming, and that is excellent, and they're gonna expand
Mm.
upon that, which is definitely
That
something I'm pretty happy about.
That's the main thing well, that's the only thing they showed here. I think it was one of those really where it was cool. Like the new things that they showed were cool, like the egg throwing and the new bosses. But I will say, I think I said it when we was watching the direct. I said this does look like it could just be an update for Splatoon 2. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's not really anything to make you go, okay, I need Splatoon 3.
Yeah. Well, but based on the multiplayer modes, yeah, that does seem to be the case. But going back to that first trailer that they showed like last year, it looks like there's gonna be a pretty, a pretty a pretty big like single player campaign.
Mm. I do hope that it is expanded, and I think I've seen other people say this, and I think this would be a really good idea. Is to have the single player campaign be well, you can be single player, but you can also play it in co-op. I think that'd be so much more fun.
Well, I wouldn't know because they've really been stingy with the Splatoon 3 updates, haven't they? Like they announced it like
Yeah,
a year ago that was going to be released this year, and we still barely it's coming out in the summer. We barely know anything about it. We know about
yeah,
the single player mode. We know about Salmon One, and we know that it looks like Turf Wars is going to be a little different with how you like enter the map. It's going to be basically Fortnite.
Yeah, well, we joked about this, didn't we? At the start of this trailer, we was like, "Oh, we're dropping, boys! When we're dropping!" I was like, "Oh no!" but
Yep.
at the same time, I mean, it could be fun. I don't know what they're planning to do with Splatoon 3, like the main gimmick, or because Splatoon 2 was just a better version of 1. I feel.
Debatably.
Um. So yeah, I mean, Splatoon 3, I probably will get it because I mean, I really do enjoy Splatoon when I play it. But yeah, I do feel like we need to see a bit more before I get really hyped about it. Because I love Salmon Run as well, but I would also like them to introduce maybe more co-op modes, not just Salmon Run, but some other co-op modes. That'd be really cool. So we'll see. But like you said, Gavin, it's coming in summer.
Yeah, we'll probably see more at E3 if I had to guess, because at that point, they've got no excuse to hide so much from us.
Yeah. So next up is the Mission remake. This is not a game that I have any sort of affiliation with. I don't think you do either, Gavin. Do you? Are you a Secret Front Mission fan?
Well, no.
I knew it.
No hiding anything from you, is there?
No, and I mean it might be cool. It looks cool for people who never played the first game, I reckon. Or I don't know if it even came out of Japan. Maybe I'm not too sure. But the second one's also coming at a later date. So 2 games there for the Switch for you. That's coming out in the summer also. Disney Speedstorm is also coming out in the summer. That might actually have had a chance if not for the announcement later on.
Yeah, I was actually like, ooh, when I
Yeah.
first saw it, because I love, well, Pixar especially. Like,
Yeah.
I'm okay with Disney, but I freaking love Pixar. Like, I've always have done. So the fact that we're having this racing game, which I'm surprised they didn't do sooner, I was like, I think I like this, and then they announced, oh yeah, it's free to play, and I was like, it just lost me there.
Yes, I forgot about that. I forgot about the free to play aspect. Me and you both, like, we had very similar feelings on it. Like, it looked cool, and there's quite a few kart races on the Switch now, but because Mario Kart 8's been out so long, it does feel like, oh yeah, I do want to play something new. And if this is the new kart racer, then yeah, it might be interesting. And like you said, I love Pixar as well, so it did look pretty interesting. But then it came out and it said, oh, it's free to play, and I was like, oh, never mind then.
Speaking of Pixar, you looking forward to Lightyear in the summer? Are you
Oh,
gonna see that?
I don't know what to make of that film, but no, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm looking forward to seeing how it turns out. It's like he's in Mario Strikers. It's so dark and he looks so angry, and I don't know why.
Well, yeah, it is jarring because, well, you've always seen Buzz Lightyear as a toy, but now we're seeing the real Buzz Lightyear. It's the real Buzz
Buzz
Lightyear!
Lightyear! Yes. If that's one thing I'm excited for, I'm excited to see all the memes that come out of it, because there's been plenty already, so.
Yeah.
So yeah, next up after Disney Speedstorm, we had a little highlight reel. Not really anything I'm into either. There was Star Wars Force Unleashed, a very old game. Not too sure why they showed that here.
It did not look good.
No, it didn't. It was. I think Joe. No, it wasn't Joe. It might have been Tim who was on the Discord call with us, and he said that it's an early 360 game. Like, why are they doing this? Just don't know why they're putting it in a mainline Nintendo Direct trailer.
I don't know. I guess they just want to go for variety in these Nintendo Directs.
And Star Wars is massive, so.
Oh, is it ever? For better or worse. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't go 2 seconds without saying something to do with Star Wars these days.
Yeah, I remember when people were, really excited that we were going to get a new Star Wars movie trilogy, and now people are sick of Star Wars because now it's all over the place. Thanks, Disney.
I said this when they announced it though. When they came out and made Force Awakens, which I really enjoyed, and then I'm pretty sure like not long after that they said, right, we're gonna do a new Star Wars film every year for like the next God knows how long. And I said, okay, I like Star Wars, but that's gonna get way too much. And like literally 2 years later, people were like, I'm sick of Star Wars now. I was like, what did I tell you?
Didn't they like cancel some Star Wars films because of Solo underperforming or something?
I do believe so. Yeah, I think that's
like-
why they might have like reworked them possibly into all those TV shows they're making.
It's like even though Disney has like infinite money, they still don't want, even a little loss.
Mm.
Oh, Disney. Oh, why you like this? We're glad that we've seen all these, series coming back again, but now you're just milking them. Like, look what you did to Home Alone, Disney. What the
Oh
fuck?
God, did you see that? Did you see the new Home Alone?
Oh, it's not good. You know a Home Alone film has failed when you sympathize with the burglars, and that's what the new Home Alone film makes you do.
Next time we get together, that might have to be a film we watch together because that could be pretty funny.
Just for the lols, yeah.
Just for the lols, yeah. Right. Anyway, back to the game. Sorry. Next up would be the Assassin's Creed Ezio collection. I think that's 1, 2, and Brotherhood maybe. No, you don't play as Ezio in the first game. I'm not too sure which one's the island. It's a bit of a random collection, but it would have been a game that I might have been interested in if I knew that they weren't going to put a big download code a big download requirement all over it, because we know that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It always does with these massive third-party collections, unfortunately. So, because they just
Yeah,
don't want
well-
to shell out for the larger storage.
Switch tax. What more
That
can
is,
I say?
yeah.
I really wish Nintendo would like lower their prices now, because the Switch is like 5 years old this year, and like there's still not people still not willing to jump onto the larger cartridges.
It's
Because
insane.
they go up to 64 gigabytes apparently.
They do, yeah. There's only been a few companies that have really like the biggest one I can think of is The Witcher 3. They got all of that game and all of its DLCs on one cart, and it was because it was a larger storage cart. So,
I really do wish more third parties just were willing to do that, because well, it's a Switch. It has a massive user base. Like just recently we learned that it's now outsold the Wii and the PlayStation.
Is it really managed to sell the Wii?
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah, that's massive then.
And it's outsold the original PlayStation. Just barely made it. And apparently it's only halfway through its life cycle.
Well, I was going to say this earlier, but like, if this direct is anything to go by, I don't think it's slowing down anytime soon. It still seems like they've got plenty more games to pump out.
Yeah, I do have mixed feelings on that. On one hand, I'm glad the Switch, is getting a long lifespan. That shows that Nintendo really has a lot of faith in it. I mean, the complete opposite of the Wii U. Let's be real. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I'm kind of against it, because it means we're not going to get the next Nintendo console for ages now. And I think Nintendo needs, something to compete with the new consoles.
They do need a hardware upgrade.
Yeah,
If it's
yes.
going to be like a Switch Pro, what have you, great. But they need something.
Yeah, at this point, that's what I think they're gonna do with the next console. They're just gonna pretty much go, like the Game Boy Color route,
Yeah.
and just release an upgraded version of the Switch as their next console, and probably make it like fully backwards compatible and what have you. But
Yeah.
it'll be more powerful, basically, more in line with like the PS4 and the Xbox One.
And their revisions. I think it was the Pro and Xbox One X, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so next up we had Gundam Battle Alliance. Not
Done.
completely lost on me. I don't know how you feel about that. Yeah.
Moving on.
Moving on very quickly, yeah. So next up was a big one, actually. This was the reveal of Chrono Cross Radical Dreamers Edition. I played Chrono Trigger quite a few years ago now, and I think I told you before, Gavin, but at the time I was also playing through Golden Sun Dark Dawn, and I was way more into Golden Sun at the time, so I really did enjoy Chrono Trigger, but I didn't get the most out of it, so I'm going to have to replay it at some point. But Chrono Cross never came out in Europe, as far as I'm concerned. As far as I know, it didn't come out on the PlayStation. I don't know if it came out on Steam. I don't think it's been re-released, has it?
Oh, what's that? An RPG from the 90s not coming out in Europe? Wow, I haven't heard
Yeah.
that before. Back when Europe got absolutely screwed when it came to RPGs. Oh, of course they give us Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. They made sure to give us that, but nothing else.
Very odd. Yeah, very odd decision that. Yeah. Nintendo in the 90s was very, especially Nintendo of Europe in the 90s. Jesus.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad they're nowhere near as bad now. In fact,
Well,
I'd say they're better than Nintendo of America. I mean, they gave us Xenoblade 1 when Nintendo of
They did.
America was still like, we're not interested.
A lot of the time as well, they give us better special editions too.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
Speaking of Xenoblade, yeah, like the definitive edition for Xenoblade on the Switch. Ours was better, wasn't it?
and our Metroid Samus Returns one was too.
Yeah, it actually felt like, well, special edition, something that
That,
you
that
wanted to invest in.
that's one of the better special editions I've got, definitely. The Metroid Samus Returns one. But yeah, anyway, sorry, back to Chrono Cross. I do quickly want to say that I did laugh when the first thing come up because I remember it's like it comes up with this picture. It's like, oh, two worlds cross, and I was like, what the hell's up with that JPEG? Like, it's so blurry. But no, the
Yeah.
game it looks good. I'm definitely going to pick it up. I really do hope it gets a physical version, but they might not do that until they actually get Trigger on the system as well.
I'd be
Um,
down for that. I mean, I don't think we'll see Chrono Trigger on the Super Nintendo Switch Online app. No, I
no,
don't think Square wants anything to do with that. I don't blame them honestly. Just sell it. Just sell it to us. We'll buy it.
oh, I
Like
would.
we want to support you for because it's Chrono Trigger. It's often considered one of the greatest RPGs ever made.
I could see it as well when I played it. I actually, because there's multiple enders to the game, so when I
Oh,
actually beat
so
it,
many.
I was like, I missed out on a couple things, and I thought, huh,
Yeah, like it was just it was ahead of its time. Really, you gotta remember this was a 16-bit game from the mid
mm,
'90s.
yeah.
Like nothing had been done like this before, especially considering again it was a 16-bit cartridge game.
Well, Chrono Cross in its own way is like it was known for having a shitload of party members, and I think what did it say in here, like 40? You've got
Something like
40.
that, yeah.
That I mean that's reaching like Xenoblade X levels. I mean no, it blows Xenoblade X levels out the water. But even in that game, I thought having too many party members meant you couldn't focus on, you know what I mean, you couldn't flesh a load of them out. And that might be the case here, but I'm really excited to try it out, especially because they actually went out of their way to bring over the Satellaview exclusive
Oh
Radical
yeah,
Dreamers.
oh yeah, that's right. I was surprised. Like I don't think us in the West have gotten anything Satellaview related like at all.
Really?
Like if you don't know what the Satellaview is, it was a Super Famicom add-on in Japan. It actually broadcasted games to a memory pack. A lot of that stuff is now considered lost media. Like most of
Mm,
it has now been recovered and preserved, like the BS Zelda games and some other stuff like that. So I'm actually really surprised that we're actually getting something, from the Satellaview days here in the West. And I really hope that like other companies, especially
mm.
Nintendo, follow suit. Like give us the
Yeah.
BS Zelda games and there was even like a Fire Emblem and F-Zero game on the Satellaview as well.
That's the thing that's the really cool thing about this is I would have been happy with just Chrono Cross anyway. I didn't even know about the Satellaview exclusive content for it, but just having it all in one package and preserving it in that way is great because then if they want to re-release it in the future, what have you, they can just take this version. It doesn't have to be like you said, like if they've already recovered this lost media, slap it onto the game, release it on modern hardware, and then it'll be much easier to dole out for the rest of time, I'd say.
Yeah, exactly. But then
But
again,
yeah,
this is Nintendo and they don't care about preservation.
that's true. I feel like they do preserve it. They just keep it all to themselves, like greedy little fuckers. So
The Disney Vault.
the Disney Vault, it's the Disney Vault, but Nintendo. So, but yeah, Chrono Cross is coming out on April the 7th. That's one day before Advance Wars, I believe. So that's going to be a busy weekend or busy week.
Hmm.
But next up is the another big Nintendo game coming out this year, and that's Kirby and the Forgotten Land. I never thought I'd say that Kirby was going to be one of the biggest releases for Nintendo that year, but I mean, apart from Planet Robot, because that was amazing. But yeah, Forgotten Land is looking like next level. It looks brilliant.
It's looking yeah, it's looking like, the big next step for Kirby after, so many 2D platformers, the same
Yeah,
formula, which again, nothing wrong with that, but at the same time it was getting a bit tiresome. So I'm actually glad that they are taking Kirby in this direction. I like a full 3D Kirby game has been a long time coming. Just ask anyone that.
yep. Did you play Star Allies?
I did. It's good, but it's not as good as Planet Robobot or well, that's really about it.
Yeah.
Like, I
I-
do like the, how you have all these playable characters from all the past Kirby games. Like, that's definitely nice, but at the same time, other than that, and as well as the huge amount of lore dump that Star Allies presents, it's just, a decent Kirby game, but nothing really spectacular. Like, it runs at 30 frames per second, even though the 3DS Kirby
Yeah.
game's running 60. Like, that definitely was a bit jarring.
When
But
I
this,
played the demo, I think it's the menus that run at 60, but the gameplay runs at 30. So when it transitioned, I was like, that looks really weird,
yes.
and it put me off a bit. But this is looking like kind of like a Mario Odyssey 2 in a way, because now you have the addition of mouthful mode, which is amazing.
Yeah, yeah. It's not just copy abilities. Kirby actually transforms his. He basically transforms his entire body, basically, depending on what he inhales. Like he turns
Mm.
into a car. Like didn't see that coming.
It's just the fact that it looks like, I think Tim put it well when he said, "Oh, it looks like Kirby's just been like skinned and put on top of a car," and I was like, "Oh my god!"
I
it
can
was so
actually
funny.
see. I can actually see somebody out there making like a Kirby themed car cover like that.
Yeah, I can as well. Actually, I'd wear it as long as I could see out my window.
No, I think it's meant to like just like protect it from like rain or whatever.
Oh right, yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah. But it's not just the car, is it? I mean, there's loads of stuff. There's a vending machine. There's a scissor lift. There's a light bulb. It looks great. The whole game looks brilliant.
Yeah, and funnily enough, it's honestly not out of the ordinary for Kirby to actually turn into objects because back in like Kirby 64, one of his copy abilities was to turn into a fridge that spat out infinite
It
food.
was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was broken. You can never die. You could just
yeah.
create food to restore your life on a whim.
That's one of the awesome things about this game, though, as well, is that like it's not only is it bringing back a load of obscure copy abilities, but you can also upgrade them.
Yeah, I
So
actually noticed that the what was it? The needle copy ability, like the double needle from Kirby
the cluster
64, like
needle.
yeah, it's back. I actually
Yeah,
noticed that. Like he gets like various pointy objects coming out of his body. Like they brought that back.
that's awesome as well because that was one of my favorite things about Kirby 64. That I don't think they've ever done again, really, have they? Is combining copy abilities like that.
They did it in Star Allies, but not to the same extent. Like you could only combine a few copy abilities together.
Yeah, I think one of the coolest things about is with this game is like I'm just watching it now and it's showing how you upgrade copy abilities and stuff. One of which looks really cool. You can upgrade the fire one to become like this dragon fire Kirby, so you can like fly and shoot fireballs. It looks ace.
It
Um,
reminds me of the super abilities from Return to Dreamland.
it reminds me of Yoshi's Final Smash in Brawl.
Oh
You know,
yes,
where you can fly with the fireballs and that.
yes, that too.
But the fact that you can go around like this Waddle Dee town, like I just love the fact that because I loved the Kirby right back at you, the anime. There was some and there's some elements about that like in this game, like you can go around the little Waddle Dee town, and I don't know, it just seems to flesh out the Kirby world in a much bigger way than we've seen before.
Yeah. Well, if this even is Kirby's world,
Well, there is that, yeah.
like it very much looks like a post-apocalyptic Earth, which by the way was already done in Kirby 64. Thank you.
But no, I'm very much looking forward to it. It's coming out March 25th, so not much longer to wait, to be honest.
It's a few days after my birthday.
It is actually, yeah. Are you going to be getting this day one, Gavin?
No, I don't think so, but I will be
No.
getting it, soon after release.
Yeah. No, it's one of my definitely one of my more anticipated games for the year. Just because I think a lot of people have been clamoring for Mario Odyssey 2, and if this is as good as we think it's going to be, I think this is going to scratch that itch and then some. And it just boosts Kirby to be one of Nintendo's more visible franchises, I think.
Well, I think Kirby is already that, but yeah. And also the fact that, people have been wanting a 3D Kirby game for ages, so, that's another itch to scratch.
Too long, too long. March 25th, get it down in your calendar.
Yes.
So next up we have the sports game. I do not know what this was called. I remember this comment. This is like, oh my god, this director's amazing. This director's amazing. And then this comes up and you're like, what the fuck?
Wait, was this that baseball game with the weird announcer?
Yeah, it was like, I think it was two Japanese baseball players, and then they were like, it's coming to Nintendo Switch. It gave off massive copy that vibes. Like, the guy, it can't be that.
Call of Duty.
Advanced
Warfare.
Warfare. Xbox
Xbox
One.
One. Copy that.
He sounded like that.
Yeah, I know this is so weird to me because oh my god, the game did not look good.
Oh, it looked awful. It looked terrible.
Like the cat, the actual players were moving very like stiltedly.
I said it reminded me of the animation in the new Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse film. Like it's not running at 30 FPS. It's running at like 24.
Yeah, but definitely not in a good way. I still need to see that film, by the way, and I've been really meaning to.
It is very, very good.
Yeah,
I've
but,
definitely got it watched before the second one comes out.
Yeah, but unlike that, that was obviously like a stylistic choice. But
Yeah, exactly.
this random baseball game, which by the way, baseball, yeah, us Europeans don't like baseball really. No, we play cricket instead, which is
Yeah, baseball's
basically
not massive over here, definitely.
no, not at all.
Also, by the way, you made a good point as well because I didn't notice this at the time, but the game's actually got the PlayStation logo on the cover.
Yeah, it does. I think it's like PlayStation Studios, and I was just thinking to myself, what is this timeline?
Yeah, I remember you saying. I was like, "Is it?" I didn't see that, but I've
Yeah,
looked at
it's
it just now. Yeah, it's there.
yeah, like what is that about?
I don't. Did
Like
they like publish it? Maybe I don't know.
I don't know. I still can't get my head around it.
Yeah, it is PlayStation. Sorry, I got close to the mic there, but yeah, no, it does say PlayStation Studios on it. So they've either published it or they've helped develop it. I don't know. It is very strange the fact it's coming out on Nintendo Switch. Then.
Also, of all games, just some generic, ugly-looking baseball game. I mean,
Yeah.
sure, we're not going to get Ratchet and Clank or anything like that on the PlayStation, but surely they could have picked something better than this.
Well, it's coming out April 5th if you want it. It's coming out the same week as Chrono Cross and Advance Wars. Don't think I'll be picking it up. So
Overshadowed.
yeah, it's gonna get a bit cannibalized. So that'll be another game where like they release the game on it and then they're like, I don't know why it's not selling. It's like, well, your audience. Don't put it in a Nintendo Direct. I don't know. Uh, and also speaking of your audience, just want to say that the next game, Kingdom Hearts, but not as you know it. It's Kingdom Hearts the
Oh,
cloud version.
oh, they just had to mess it up, didn't they? I mean, after Sora got into Smash, which if you've seen our Smash podcast, which you should have by now, yeah, we're pretty hyped about Sora getting to Smash, and
Hmm.
also Kingdom Hearts coming to the Switch, and now it's cloud versions. Never mind. Like you need a constant good internet connection just to even play the damn thing.
Do you know what the worst thing is? The worst thing is in this trailer as well. The announcer he's just he's making it sound amazing. He's like Kingdom Hearts, the all-in-one collection,
It
cloud
could have been
version, and
it
then
could have been
I'm thinking, piss off! You're making it worse.
well, he's half right. It is half amazing, but then you realize it's cloud version, which I don't think is
Yeah,
really done that much on the Switch to begin with. So
these are definitely the biggest cloud games on the system, I'd say.
they're also quite expensive too.
Oh, they're so expensive. I'd look on the eShop. I think it's about £84 for the whole collection, which is that's insane. Because I had a look at the all-in-one collection that you can get for the PS4 physically, by the way, not cloud on the system, and you can get it for around 25 pounds, £30. It's just night and day. There's just no reason to do it like this.
No, there isn't. Like, it's just a real letdown, really. That's all I can say about it. I don't want to
Mm.
support that kind of, business practice at all. Like, if they released it, like, properly, then I'd be all over that. I would. But as it is right now, I just can't. I'm just going to keep my back turned against it.
I think the annoying thing is as well is that I think I said this in our other podcast recently, but um, the fact that now they've released it on cloud, and they have said before, like Square Enix, that originally they did try and get someone to natively port it, but it was just such a big operation that no one wanted to take it on. Which, fair enough. So they wanted to get the games onto the system in some way. So they did the cloud versions. My thing now, though, is that if they do it in time, say, okay, it is coming natively now, here's the collection, I feel like people who got the cloud version will be very pissed off.
I'm just wondering why Square didn't try to natively port it, in-house. Like, this is the same company that gave us the Final Fantasy VII remake. They could do anything they wanted to, really.
Yeah, it definitely was not a priority. I can tell you that. But yeah, I think if they couldn't have done it, they should have just waited until they could have done it. Because I feel like they've shot themselves in the foot now.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Kingdom Hearts. Unfortunately, not the way we want it, but it's coming. I mean, it's out now, I believe. So if you want it, go get it. Spend the D to your house on it.
Yeah,
um,
we won't judge you.
well, silently.
Well, don't tell them that.
So next up is the Klonoa collection. You were pretty excited about this, Gavin, weren't you?
Excited? Well, I was more just shocked. I was more
Yeah.
shocked than anything, because Klonoa's been gone for ages, The last
It's
we
a,
saw of Klonoa was the remake of the first game on the Wii, and that was like 2008, 2009, and that was it. No more Klonoa games. So to see him come back like this again, I just didn't. It just caught me by surprise, really.
I think at first you said this was the Wii version, but
I thought
I
it
don't think it
was.
is.
I thought it was. No, it's actually just straight up full remix of Klonoa 1 and 2 in
That's
one
ace.
collection. Yeah.
I'm a sucker for game collections, so even though Klonoa isn't a franchise that I'm like interested in really, the fact it's got 2 games in one collection, if it's all on the cart and that, I might pick it up. We'll see.
Actually very interested in it. If it I don't know, is it getting a physical release? If it is, then I'm definitely getting it.
Yeah, I hope it gets a physical release. It might be
I'm
one of
just
those where it might get a limited run release. I don't know.
I'm just glad that we're finally getting a Klonoa game that's not going to cost like £100+ to buy. Because Klonoa
Mm.
games are always quite rare and expensive because even Klonoa is unfortunately cursed with really low sales. Like even though the games always seem to get good reviews, they're always financial failures to Namco and Bandai Namco.
It's such a shame.
Yeah, it is because well, they look pleasant.
They do. They look like really. I mean, it's funny because like, in our friend group we have like, oh yeah, this is a Gavin game. Oh, this is such a Tom game. And Klonoa is definitely a Ben game. So I do need to play it.
Yeah, and
So
plus the fact that it's it's a PlayStation game, so it's right up your alley, is it not?
yeah, well that's one of the things really is that when I go to like I'll pop into CEX or what have you to have a look at games. Um, sometimes when I go in there, like obviously PlayStation games aren't really worth a lot of the time. There's only a few that I can think of that are actually worth quite a bit of money. And you know how they'll have like valuable games behind a glass cabinet or what have you. Klonoa in the
Yeah.
store near me is always there, and it's like £50. No, I think it's more than that actually. Uh,
W- Which one is this? Is this Door to Phantom Isle?
what's that? Sorry,
Which Klonoa game is it? Is it Door to Phantom Isle, like the original one?
I think it is the original one. Yeah,
Is it on the PlayStation 1?
yeah.
Yeah, that's Door to Phantom Isle.
Okay, right, yeah. Let me just see. Actually, let me have a look how much it is worth, just quickly. What's it called? The Phantom Isle
Door to Phantom Isle.
door. Oh, hang on. There, yeah, here we go. Oh, damn. Oh, yeah, that's expensive.
How much?
Okay. Let's have a look here. Nearly £200 apparently.
200. Oh my god, that's even
Yeah,
more than I expected.
yeah, that's more than I expected. Maybe I should have picked. Well, yeah, maybe I should have picked it up from the shop when I saw it. But well then, yeah. I mean, the European copies go for even more. It's about 300. Wow.
There must have been a surge after the announcement.
Possibly, yeah, possibly. It's weird because you would have thought game prices would have gone down, but the collector in
Sometimes
you.
they do. Like the first Xenoblade Chronicles on the Wii actually did lose value once the definitive edition came out,
Mm,
but look at Earthbound. That game is still going for hundreds even
rocketing, isn't
after the
it?
constant re-releases. Yeah, so it doesn't always, it doesn't always lower the value of the original copies. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I
Yeah,
don't know what the rhyme or reason behind this, but yeah, we're getting another classic 2D platforming character, another classic platforming character coming back. We've been getting a lot of those lately, like the Tasmanian Tiger came back
yeah,
recently. KO the Kangaroo of all characters is coming back.
yeah. Bubsy had a game a few years ago.
Don't remind me.
Don't think it went very well, but
No,
yeah,
it didn't.
Kaleo
You
is
know,
coming out July 8th, so just put that on your calendar.
at this rate, suddenly a Gex remake or Gex revival doesn't seem off the cards anymore.
That would be cool.
I,
I've heard that Gex remake would be hard to do just because like all the pop culture references are so 90s or so around that time period.
they will just replace them with internet memes.
Oh, I don't think I'd like that, you know.
You're gonna be hearing Gex saying, "I'm gonna rickroll you" or something like that.
Oh,
Which makes me wonder, are they gonna get Dana Gold back to voice Gex if they did
they
like
yeah,
make a remake or a new game?
yeah.
Hell, will he still have a different voice in the European version?
Did he have a different voice in the European version?
Yeah, I
Oh
forgot the
right, I
guy's
didn't know
name,
that.
but it was a British guy that voiced him.
Yeah.
I forgot his name.
Anyway, sorry. After Klonoa, we had the Portal collection, and another great collection that I'm probably going to pick up if it has a physical edition. If it's
Yeah.
digital only, probably not.
I know SBO is pleading with me to get this one, which I might,
Yeah,
but only if it gets physical release. Well,
The only thing that makes me think it wouldn't do is because it's Valve, and obviously Valve is like, it's Steam, it's digital. I don't know. I don't think Valve will do it.
I don't know. Well, Valve did release physical games. Like they did release the Portal, Portal originally on the Xbox. Like there was also the Orange
Yeah,
Box as well.
I think it's just because it was so long ago that I don't know if they'd still do it, because especially because
Yeah,
the
well,
world's moved more to digital stuff now. But
also,
we'll see.
also once again, Portal was also a big surprise to me because now we got Valve on board with the Switch. Like the possibilities are endless.
Yeah,
They've gotten so many developers on board with the Switch, and now they got Valve, like the masses of digital distribution.
that surprised me as well because of the Steam Deck.
Oh yeah.
So what I mean, I don't. I mean, it's the Steam Deck out. I haven't really heard much about it, to be honest. But yeah, no, it surprised me mainly because of that. Because I thought, why would they support the competitor? But I don't know. Maybe Valve just think they're doing their own thing with the Steam Deck. So who knows?
Like Valve's competition is not in the home console market. It's with online distribution. Like their main competition is the Epic Store.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, I thought that. But
It,
yeah,
you know,
Portal.
it, yeah, it's like how back in the early 2000s, Microsoft didn't mind having rare games on the Game Boy Advance because they had no competition in the handheld market.
Oh, did that come after the acquisition? I thought that was just
Yeah,
like beforehand.
yeah, it was after the acquisition.
Oh right, okay. I guess that makes sense. Um, Yeah, so the Portal collection comes in 2022, sometime this year. They haven't mentioned it yet, so that probably means it's going to come closer to the holiday season, I reckon. And then next up is one of my highlights of the direct. One of the things I'm really excited for, and that is Live Alive, which is it apparently a SNES RPG, but only in Japan?
I believe so, yeah. The Japanese
Yeah,
only Super Famicom RPG from Square.
from Square, of course. Yeah. Um,
So just like with Trials of Mana, we're finally getting an official English version of this game.
that's awesome. I love the fact that we're getting all these games that we've missed out on for so many years.
Yeah, I
Especially
mean,
because I've heard this one's really good.
mm,
And it's remade in HD 2D, a bit like Octopath, and Triangle Strategy, and the Dragon Quest III remake. So I think many people have said that they want Chrono Trigger remade in this style. Oh my god, yes, that'd be amazing.
yes, I can see it now.
Mm. And that's coming out July 22nd this year. So another game in the summer, another one that's going to take up loads of hours. And it also reminds me a bit of Octopath with like the multiple characters. It seems like you can start off with one character and then you'll join up with the others later or what have you. I'm not too sure how it works, but it does remind me of Octopath a bit. I don't know. Do you have any interest in Live Alive, Gavin?
Not in particular, honestly.
Guess you have to see when it comes out. Really, might be one of those games you play a bit later.
Yeah, probably. It's just I got this just so much
There is
coming
so
out this
much.
year already that I kind of have to get my priorities straight.
Like I said at the beginning, there's so much coming out. You've sort of got to go. All right, I'm sort of interested in that, but I'm going to have to put that to one side for now. So,
Yeah.
Nintendo Switch Sports. Okay.
Oh yeah, sure. Why not? I mean, Wii Sports was popular.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably the only reason why the Wii sold as much as it did. Most people probably only bought it for the Wii Sports and nothing else. Let's be real.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not really feeling it with this one because, well,
No.
it's just like they're releasing it unfinished for one thing. Like you don't get all the sports that they mentioned are going to be in the game. Like
Yeah.
golf's not going to be there right away. Also, what is with the characters? Like
Oh my
they
god.
aren't they aren't Mii's anymore. Like why are they just random humanoid people? Like as somebody pointed out when we were watching it together, they look like Xbox avatars.
They do. Yeah.
But
I
but
thought
then
that.
you actually see Koizumi come on and play the game, and he's actually using his Mii, but it's his Mii's face on those bodies. It just doesn't sit well with me. It just looks odd.
It looks like they'll be the guest characters, but it's like in the original Wii Sports, you had guest characters, but they were Mii's.
I know, like it just I just don't understand why they went down this direction. Like, why have these generic humanoid characters rather than just, well, straight up Mii's? Like, they show that you
Yeah.
can still use your Mii's in game, but they're given the, like, quote, realistic proportions that the human characters in the game have. So I just don't understand. Like, why go down
Yeah.
this way? Like, if you're gonna use Mii's, go all out. Give them the cartoony proportions.
It's a bit weird because like, I feel like Nintendo in the Switch especially have tried like obviously Mii's are there, but they haven't really utilized them like they did with the Wii and Wii U. Maybe it's because
You
they
know,
wanted to distance themselves from the Wii name.
you know what you know what really comes to mind when I see these characters? The Kinect sports games.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and I definitely don't mean that in a positive way either.
No. Hang on. Let me just have a look.
It's like all those crappy Kinect games with the generic human
Yeah, they
characters,
do.
and now
Yeah.
Nintendo's going down that path. No, I just don't really agree with this design choice at all.
It's a bit weird. I mean, it does seem like there's going to be quite a few more sports than there was in the original game. I mean, they showed off football quite a bit, which
And there was volleyball as well, I think.
there was also volleyball. That's the one that they played together, wasn't it?
I think
Because
so.
I will say, like, I thought that this specific game, this is the only one that felt like it in the entire direct, but they went on a bit about it.
They went
Like,
on and on and on. Oh,
yeah,
it was like nearly a full 10 minutes.
I've wrote
And
down
we
here in my notes. Went on a bit long, reminded me of Wii U era directs. You know, where that they'd spend 20 minutes on one game.
Oh god, yeah.
It got
Certainly
a
don't
bit
miss
like
those
that.
days. I don't miss those days at all.
No, well, I mean, they used to be like, I think there was the jokes about it, but it was like they used to talk about the game, then they talked about the developer of the game, and it was like, okay, we're gonna go home with the developer and watch them eat dinner, and then we're gonna find out who their family are, and it was just sort of, I don't care, go move on to the next game. And yeah, it was a bit like that. The direct was so good up to this point, so I sort of like didn't mind it too much. But I do remember thinking, is this still going on? Can we move like switch? Where's the yeah? But yeah. Overall, it's probably not a game I'm gonna get. I feel the same way about it as I did. You know, where Wii Sports Club on the Wii U.
Uh-huh.
I felt very similar about that as well. It was sort of like, it sounds like they're trying to sort of do that again. So probably not a game I'm gonna get. But hey ho.
Yeah. Yeah, I like I said, I don't really think too highly on it.
I think was it you who said when we was watching it? You said this should be what was released with the Wii U. Oh, not the Wii U, the Switch. Sorry.
I think it was me, and then
Oh
somebody
no,
said 1-2 Switch should have been like a packing game.
I think it was no, it was Taz. It was Taz who said it, and then I said this should have been like the 1-2 Switch. So instead of 1-2 Switch, it should have been this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it would have been at least somewhat tolerable.
Yeah.
But no, they're releasing it like 5 years into the Switch's lifespan. That
Unfinished.
Yeah, as well.
Yeah. I mean, they are going to have a bit like this. Is what reminds me of Wii Sports Club because when that game came out, they had like you could get the game for free, but then you could pay for certain sports or something like that. And here they've got like an online test coming in the next. I think it's coming out this week actually. So I mean, if you're into the game, if you think you might pick it up, there is that. See if it might be up your alley. Probably not for me, especially when you've got Mario Strikers coming out this year. That sort of set me up for. That's my only sports game this year.
Mhm. Yeah.
So next up was Taiko no Tatsujin, which is the rhythm drum game.
Yeah,
That
that.
completely lost on me. I'm not interested in that. But I mean, are you,
Well,
Gavin?
meh. I know it. I know it has its fans. I mean, it's one of Bandai Namco's more popular franchises, especially in Japan. Like,
Hmm.
I hear it does really well over there, but it's whatever. If you like the series, more power to you. But probably not for me. I mean, I'd rather stick with my DK bongos and Donkey Konga on the GameCube. Thank you
I
very
think
much.
I will say that the series has got like consistent. What's the word? Consistent. It's been consistent. Do you know what I mean? Like it feels like I've seen quite a bit of it recently.
Yeah, like it's like actually staying power.
Yeah, staying power. That's it. Yeah, and yeah, it's had a presence. It's had a big presence over the past few years. It seems like not every direct, but it does seem like a game keeps coming out every so often. So yeah, if you're a fan of the game, I'm sure you're excited. But probably not for me, I don't think. But it's coming out this year, so there is that. The next one is Triangle Strategy. This was one that originally I was quite interested in because I loved Octopath and it was in the HD 2D style. But I think the fact that there's more HD 2D style games coming out now, it sort of made me lose interest in Triangle Strategy, especially because of the gameplay, because it seems more like a tactical RPG than, a regular turn-based one or what have you. I don't. Did you ever have any interest in it, Gavin? I know you didn't play Octopath either.
Nope, got nothing to really add to this.
No? Cool. Well, it's coming out 4th of March, so if you want it, it's there. Cuphead DLC, that's coming out June 30th. I still haven't played Cuphead.
I have been interested in it. It's just I know they aren't interested in releasing it physically, so sure, okay, but yeah, I'm interested in Cuphead. I mean, I know the game's really hard, but it's also very rewarding. Like it doesn't punish you, like it
Very
lets you
fair.
keep trying. Yeah, it's difficult but fair, and I wish like games of like the 80s and 90s were like that.
It's just one of the it's one of the most beautiful games of all time, for sure.
Yeah, no, like actually, they went way out of their way to make it, as authentic to the 1930s animation period as possible. They did not
Yeah,
need to, but they really, really went out of the way to keep it that way, and you gotta commend them for that.
it'll always impress me every time I see it, the way it
Yeah,
looks.
it's gonna age like amazingly. Like
Oh, yeah.
this game is not gonna age at all graphically.
No, in another like 20 years, you'll be looking at this game thinking, it still looks like it just come out. Like it's incredible. This is the thing, like the 1930s animation style. You could look at 1930s animation now, and the only thing that will age it really is the film. Like the black spots that appear and stuff like that.
Yeah,
In terms of the animation and what have you, it still looks amazing. Like nearly 100 years later.
yeah, because it's all hand drawn,
Exactly. Which
way back
I
when.
wish more studios would rely on instead of CGI. But
Well, no, they can't because, well, 2D animation just got completely eclipsed by 3D animation,
yeah.
ever since Toy Story and whatnot. Like 2D animation just slowly started to decline after that.
I think not
Like,
to go on a quick tangent, but I know that the '90s Disney films, the animators for that, they were either tutored or were made by the so-called like gods of Disney animators that were classed as gods or what have you in the company. And I think their style, their teachings have sort of been lost in the last couple of decades because they haven't needed to because they focused so much on 3D.
it's not really, it's not really anyone's fault. It's just, a change in trends because,
Mm,
Toy Story was such a game changer that everybody wanted to do it. And,
yeah.
as technology advanced, it just became, more practical, more profitable. So really, it's not really anyone's fault. Well, you could blame Pixar, but they didn't intend for this, I don't think.
Oh, of course. At the time, it was the next step. It's a bit like games though. Like especially during like the 6th generation of consoles and the 5th generation, I'd say there was so much pressure to make every game 3D, and then after that, you probably saw it swing the other way a bit too much, where a load of games went back to being 2D because people realised that 2D games still have a lot to offer. It's a bit like
Yeah.
hand-drawn movies, though. I feel like hand-drawn movies still have a lot to offer.
Yeah, yeah. There were definitely a lot of growing pains in the 90s when it came to 3D games.
Mm,
But, that's why people still look fondly upon games like Super Mario 64 because they pretty much were the best you could do at the time, and they're
yeah,
still seen as pretty good today.
Mario 64 legacy game. Well, speaking of those 2D games, actually, this is more like 2.5D, but Metroid Dread's getting an update. Metroid Dread, one of the best games of last year.
Yeah,
I think we could both agree to that, can't we, Gavin?
yeah. Metroid Dread is excellent.
Mm. And to be honest, I always said that I did not want DLC for the game. I love the game how it is, but this DLC is the kind of DLC that I like. It's
Yeah.
not you're not really missing out on content. It's just
It's just extra bells and whistles for you to play around with, and it's free.
yeah,
Like
and it's yeah,
yeah, you get so it's actually like in two parts. So you got the first update which came out like right after the direct. It adds
it's
to the
out
new
now.
story mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, it added rookie mode, or as people are calling it, journalist mode,
Oh,
because
I'll say
a lot of those people complain about Metroid Dread being too hard, and well, screw those guys. It's meant to be hard. I mean, again, it's tough but fair. Like, you can keep trying. It's all about pattern memorization and, having the proper reaction time.
Dread was a perfect difficulty, I think.
Yeah. But apparently somebody at Mercury Steam didn't think the game was hard enough, so they added Dread mode, which is just one-hit kills for everything.
That, for me, I was like, I feel like the game's hard enough, do you know what I mean? Like, in the normal mode. So this is like just a fun little addition. I thought was great.
Yeah, I do feel like it pushes the difficulty a bit too much. Like,
Yeah, there's a room there to have the game more difficult than normal, but not that.
yeah, one-hit kill. Yeah, we crazy hard difficulty now. Yeah, this is how we did it, 90s style.
I know Espio's been playing around with that a bit, hasn't he? The Dread mode.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks like Game to Death anyway. I will quickly say as well, actually, I should have mentioned this at the beginning, but one of the reasons why it's just me and Gavin today is because Deku, Tom, was going to join us, but he's a bit ill, so he sends his love. And
Yes.
what else did he say? He said to say something? What did he say?
Oh
yeah, he said that...
Tell the people I'm ill and that Xenoblade gave me chills.
Yes, so we'll get to that, but yeah, there you go, there's Tom's thoughts, that's all you need. So yeah, Metro Dread update, that's going to be cool. Boss Rush.
Yeah, Boss Rush is coming in April, which I'm alright. I actually really like it when games add a Boss Rush mode. Like, one of my favorite things, for developers to add to video games is a way to replay bosses, whether it's through a boss world or just being able to replay them anytime you want. Like, that's actually one of my favorite things to put in a video game. Is just the ability to replay bosses. Like, Banjo-Tooie has that.
That's
Ocarina
cool.
of Time 3D has that.
Yeah, the Gauntlet.
Yeah. Like, in Banjo-Tooie, there's just straight up an entire replay mode where you can replay cutscenes, minigames, and bosses anytime you want.
I
Like,
love that.
I love it when games do that sort of thing, and I wish more games did that.
Yeah, I agree completely there.
Like, it's the opposite of a pet peeve. It's actually something that you hope gets into a video game because you just really enjoy it.
And that's why I like it as DLC, because it's not something that, oh yeah, years down the road, if I picked up this game and I couldn't update it anymore, it's like, what am I missing out on? Oh, Boss Rush. Well, it's not like I can't experience those bosses, it just means I can't have it in a concise, streamlined way. And, I mean, the bosses in general, I think, are the best part of Dread. Like, the bosses are so good.
Oh, yeah.
So having it all in one place is great.
Seeing Kraid back was great, and also the fact that there was actually, like, developer foresight, where if you actually sequence breaked to get, items earlier, there actually were, like, secret methods to fighting Kraid, which they actually thought of.
Yeah.
Like, again, something I wish more developers did. I think a lot of the indie Metroidvanias probably do something like that. I don't know because I haven't played many of them.
They do, and I mean, one of the ones that I think of I think it was in Super Metroid. It's not a sequence break, but you can. Is it one of the? Is it one of the, like he'll grab you? I can't what his name is, but he'll grab you, and if you use the grapple beam on the electricity or whatever, you can just shock him and kill him like instantly.
I don't remember. Are you meant to have the grappling hook at that point? I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I think his name was Draydon. Her name was Draydon. I
Something
don't
like
remember
that.
if you meant to have the grappler beam at that point, but yeah, that's more like a secret method.
Yeah, I love stuff like that though.
Yeah.
And even though it's a sequence break thing, it's awesome that they put that in there. So. Earthbound and Beginnings. They're both coming to NSO.
Well, it's about time, but do we really care? No. Well, it's been a long time coming. Yeah, sure. I mean, it's Earthbound. Everybody loves Earthbound, even though I think it's just good. It's a game I respect more than I actually like. Like, I have a ton of respect for Earthbound. Like, more than I actually enjoy it. Like, the game, I feel has a few, like, annoying design choices to make it, like the masterpiece that a lot of people see it as. It's a good game, but again, it just has some design choices that don't gel with me. Like the fact that if you fall in battle, you have to revive all your party members one by one, and it costs money, and then you have to restore their PP, and that can take a bit of time. It's just a bit of a pace breaker, really. And also
the game is definitely aged.
And also the fact that there aren't that many save points littered around, and every 2 hours or so, hello, it's your dad.
Yeah.
You've been out there for a long time. Don't you think you should take a break?
I think that it's something that's cool, but I also was like, oh, this guy again is the picture guy. But whenever he shows up, I just feel like, oh, fucking hell, I'll have to sit through this.
Photos taken instantaneously.
Yeah.
Say Fuzzy Pickles.
I haven't played Earthbound Beginnings, and I think me and you talked about this while I was watching the direct, didn't we, Gavin? That I don't think we really have any plans to.
No, like I've heard not very good things about the game. Like it is, the definition of an 8-bit era RPG. It's very
Mm,
grindy, it's
very
very
grindy.
difficult.
Yeah.
Plus, once again, the novelty has worn off. Like, the only reason we're even getting Earthbound Beginnings in the first place, like all these years later, is because they already translated it back in the day. They just decided not to release it because of the Super Nintendo was coming out and they wanted to focus on that.
Yeah.
You would probably do the same if you were in that position because by the time Earthbound, the first one, was completely translated and ready to be released, the Super Nintendo would have come out like a few months later.
You've
And
been selling it to its death, really.
yeah, and releasing an RPG, it was expensive back then, and it took a lot of work to actually do so.
Yeah.
Nintendo just shelved it, even though it was ready to go. And it wasn't until like a few years later that a prototype of the English version actually surfaced, and that's how we got the game released. That's how
That was
people were able to
Earthbound
buy it.
Zero, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was retitled Earthbound Zero by the people that dumped it, I think, if I
Yeah.
remember right.
I think the problem with this reveal was that, well, it wasn't a problem at all, but look, Nintendo, they know what we want. We've wanted it for years. They know what we want, and the way that they revealed this was like, here's Earthbound. Oh, here's Earthbound Beginnings. Oh, and that's it. And you're like, "Oh, come on, you know what we want. Give us Mother 3.
Yeah, at this point, I just think the Mother 3 dream is completely dead.
I don't know why they would have officially like wrapped it in a bow, Earthbound Beginnings. I don't, they had the translation now already, but I don't know why they would have wrapped it up in a bow and completed it and put it out for people to buy if they weren't planning to do something with the last game in the series. We've got two of them. Just do something with the last game. Like, it's right there. And we've said before that if you're not going to release the game as it was, just do a remake. Do a remake. Touch up the stuff that you're a bit worried about localizing. And change it or what have you, and then release it that way, as long as we get the game officially in some capacity.
Because, yeah, I agree, because I think everybody should experience Mother 3, because that game is honestly. You haven't lived until you've experienced Mother 3. Like, some people would
It's
say that for
beautiful.
Earthbound, but for me, Mother 3 is the game for me. That game, I'm never going to forget that game. Oh
Same.
my god.
That
Oh
was
my
the one
god.
out of the three of them that I actually love.
Oh my god. I'm glad I was alone when I finished that game, because you would think I was at a funeral of a loved one or something by the end of that game.
I,
I was just absolutely bawling my eyes out. Oh my god, it was.
it's so
Oh,
heart wrenching,
it is.
but it's so brilliant. Like, it's brilliantly done. And I feel like, I mean, I don't know if I told you this, Gavin. Actually, did you know what happens at the end of the game before you played it?
Only vaguely.
Okay, right. Because I watched Sugar Conroy's playthrough of it first, and I do remember what happens at the end. So when I played it, I already knew what was coming, but I didn't really know like story beats leading up to that bit. It still got me though. Like even though I knew what was coming, it still got me.
Yeah, you experience it for yourself, and it's still just as impactful.
Yeah, but that's why I want it because I would just love for them to make a collection of the game, release it physically, and have it there. It would just it'd be brilliant. But again, we're still gonna be waiting for a while. But yeah, Earthbound and Beginnings, they're out now. If you want to go play them, be aware that me and Gavin has said, they are dated, especially Beginnings. So just go in with the intention to appreciate them instead of love them, I guess.
Yeah.
So next up was a highlight reel. I don't think there was anything really notable about this highlight reel. It was just like there was like a Demon Slayer game and a couple other games. I don't know if there was anything there for you, Gavin. There wasn't anything there really.
I don't even remember anything from that highlight reel.
No, there wasn't.
Can we just get back to the good stuff now?
Oh, we can get back to the good stuff, my friend. Trust me, because they announced that they're not making Mario Kart 9 yet. They're going to be doing more Mario Kart 8 DLC.
Yeah.
A massive 48 courses spread out for over the next 2 years. So at the end of 2023, it's going to finish.
Yeah. I'm both surprised and not surprised that they're doing this because, well, let's look at what Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is doing for the Switch. It is selling ridiculous amounts.
Do well.
It sold about 43 million copies. It's already outsold Super Mario Bros. If I'm remembering right.
Has it outsold Mario Kart Wii?
Yeah,
Jesus
by a lot.
Christ.
And when you look at the gameplay of Mario Kart 8, what do you go from there? Like, how do you evolve the formula? You can't really do much with it. And again, people, tons of people have Mario Kart 8. People are playing it online all the time. So making DLC for it, even this late into the system's lifespan, it actually makes sense. And you know what? I'm
Yeah.
happy they're doing this because this is going to be all courses from other games, even Mario Kart Tour, the absolute
Yeah.
travesty that game is. But hey, they're bringing some of those courses to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Say what you will about Mario Kart Tour, I don't think that the courses are the problem with it. It's the business model. The gameplay isn't fantastic, but it's the business model that kills that game. And
Yeah.
I was annoyed anyway, the fact that, they're making brand new courses for this mobile game that I'm not going to play. I want to experience those courses, but in an actual Mario Kart game. So the
Yeah.
fact that they're doing that now is ace.
Yeah, and even though we only know the first wave, the first 8 tracks, they're still very solid picks. Like we're getting Coconut Mall, Choco Mountain, Sky Garden. Yeah, we're getting like 3 tour tracks.
I will.
I really want to see what we get. I really want
I,
to see what else we get.
I was just going to say that some people are a bit divisive on the art style, because they think that it doesn't look like the rest of the game, like the rest of the base game, like with the detail and what have you. I don't know if I agree. I think the art style is a decision. Do you know what I mean? Like, especially for some of the like the Sky Garden and what have you. I think it looks good. I think it looks good.
Yeah, I think it looks fine. Like it doesn't look too out of place. Also,
It.
it's probably not like the final thing. Like they might touch it
Mm,
up before release. I don't know, but yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to see what tracks they bring back because it's all gonna be. They're not gonna be new courses. It's gonna be courses from past
all
games.
retro. Yeah, all retro
Yeah,
courses.
I really hope we see Royal Stadium for Mario Kart 64 because that is the only track.
Yes.
That is the only track from Mario Kart 64 that has not come back in a future Mario Kart game. It's the
Yeah.
only one. I also hope we see Royal Coliseum from Double Dash. That was a really
Yes.
sick one.
I.
And
Oh, sorry, carry on.
Waluigi Pinball is an absolute must, of course, because that's a
Yes.
massive fan favorite.
Waluigi Pinball and DK Mountain are the ones I want to come back.
DK Mountain, yeah. Bring back. Well, I don't want to say. I don't want to say don't bring back Super Nintendo tracks because I'm sure they will, but I'm not too fussed about that. They're not very
The thing is,
interesting outside
as long
Rainbow
as
Road.
as long as they rework them, like I think, because you could say the same about the Game Boy Advance tracks, but the Game Boy Advance tracks have been transformed so much in Mario Kart 8. They're some of my favorite tracks in the game, like Ribbon
Yeah.
Road and Mario Circuit 3. I think it is. They look incredible.
Yeah, I just wish there was more of them, which, again, the DLC might,
Yeah, I mean we're already getting
might
Sky
deliver
Garden,
on.
so
Yeah, Sky Garden. I hope we get. Oh, I actually want to see Super Circuit's rendition of Rainbow Road because,
mm,
well, probably not because you can take some really massive shortcuts on that track if you know what you're doing, and some people might think it's too broken, but at the same time, it's a lot of fun.
yeah.
Like,
Sometimes it's so stupid it's fun.
yeah, like even Sonic Robo Blast 2 Kart has that track, and it's still just as fun as it is in Super Circuit. By the way,
Yeah.
Ben, you should play Sonic Robo Blast 2 Kart. It's fun. And
Oh,
you can mod it really easily too to add new characters. It's
is that what you guys have been playing recently? Because I never knew what the abbreviation meant.
yeah.
Oh right, okay. I'll look into that.
Yeah, like I've recently installed a character pack that adds Rex from Xenoblade 2 into it.
Ah, brilliant.
Yeah.
I think that's a good.
Uh,
I think that's a good segue, actually.
well, not just yet. I wanted to briefly talk about the price of the Mario Kart 8 DLC
Yes,
because
go for it.
I think it is an absolute bargain. You're only paying like just a little over £20 or like $25 for to basically double the amount of tracks in the game.
There's going to be 96 tracks in the game after
Yeah.
this. That's. I mean, I remember saying that maybe the closest competitor to Mario Kart on the Switch, I think, was Crash Team Racing, and I said that something that lets it down a bit is the fact it doesn't have as many courses. Oh my god, this completely blows any other kart racer on the system out of the water.
Yeah. It's also proof that the Switch still has a long life ahead of it. Like Nintendo is not
Mm,
thinking anytime soon of like moving on because they really would not be doing DLC for Mario Kart 8 this late, and the fact that it's going to
No.
continue on until around the end of next year, yeah, the Switch is going nowhere anytime soon.
It's something to bring people back to Mario Kart if they haven't played it in a while either. Because I mean, we not long ago we started playing it every weekend, and we've sort of stopped doing that. But I'm really excited to jump back in with the DLC because Mario Kart 8 is just it's a phenomenal game.
Yeah,
It's brilliant.
I do hope we get to continue doing that again once
Yeah,
the DLC starts rolling out.
and it starts rolling out March 18th, so it's just over a month away. We don't know how often it's going to come out. I think that it might be a thing where it's like every direct that comes out or what have you, they go, "Oh yeah, the next one's coming out soon." Do you know what I mean? A bit like a Smash character, maybe.
It really does feel like they are, filling in that void that Smash left behind. Now that Smash is
Yeah,
finished, like now it's Mario Kart, an
something
older
else to look
game.
forward to.
Hey, I'm not complaining because, like I
Neither
said,
me.
I'm really excited to see what tracks they bring back, and I hope they
I,
bring back the ones that a lot of us want, like again, Waluigi Pinball and Royal Stadium.
this also makes me really excited for Mario Kart 9 because I feel like that will be a game that will be a launch title for the next system, and having a Mario Kart game at launch will just be great. It'll be amazing.
I do wonder what was that rumor all about? You remember that rumor from a little while back saying that there's going to be a new Mario Kart game, but it's going to be more like a Nintendo Kart. Like, whatever
Um,
happened to that?
I don't know if that was a rumor or like a hope. I mean, the thing is, I've said this before, but I would love for it to be like a Nintendo Kart, like a Smash Mario Kart. But Mario Kart is such a big name. I don't think they could change Mario Kart to Nintendo Kart. I think they'd have to keep the Mario Kart name.
I agree, but like I said, what can you do? Like, what can you do with Mario Kart going forward? Like, I don't really
Yeah,
see how you could evolve the gameplay any further than anti-gravity and underwater travel and gliding. Like,
you
what
say
more
that,
could you
but
do without making
N-
it feel bloated?
Nintendo have the wizards at innovation. Sometimes to their detriment, sometimes. So I do have faith that
Yeah.
what they do next time is going to be fun.
Yeah, you say that and they still won't give us a new F-Zero game. They don't need to innovate to give
Yes.
us a new F-Zero game. Just give us a new F-Zero game and then worry about innovation later.
I think with all
Please,
the series
Nintendo. It's been 18 years. Just do it.
they brought back with the Switch, and with how many because they've made so much money from the Switch that they're just like, yeah, we can do another Advance Wars, yeah, we can do this, we can do WarioWare. Why not do another F Zero?
So while you're at it, give us a new Star Tropics game.
Oh, you'd love that.
Can
You'd
you give
nut.
can you give us a new Fossil Fighters game as well, please? I love that series now.
So the last thing in the direct was by far my favourite. That is of course Xenoblade Chronicles 3. It's here.
Oh,
It's here.
yes.
I remember as soon as it come on, I was like, okay, wait, hang on, what's this? And then he was playing the flute or what have you, and then as soon as I saw, someone said Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and I was like, is it though? And then I saw like the big Mechon thing, and I was like, what the fuck is that? And then I was in
No,
then.
I was like, "Oh, what's this? It kind of looks like Fire Emblem." Then the guy started talking British, and I was like, wait, wait! I think I know what this is."
I didn't hear it too much because I think I was speaking with you guys, and we were all like, what is it? What is it? And then obviously the Mechon come up, and I was like, what the fuck is that? And oh my
Yeah,
god.
and then me and Ben were like creaming our pants the whole way through the trailer, and everyone else was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, I was like going, is that a Mechon? Is that a
Is that a Mechon? Oh my god, is that the Mechonis sword?
Yeah, I was. We were both like that. We were both, oh my god, it's the Mechonis sword. Oh my god, that's Araya's head. What's going on? I was so excited. I am so excited. This is the most excited I've been for a game in a long time. And it's coming out
Yeah,
in September. It's not too far away. That's insane.
yeah, no, like this is just amazing, Like
Mm.
Monolith Soft, Monolith Soft, we don't deserve you.
Oh, I don't think people realise. Like, people think Monolith only do Xenoblade. They are
No,
probably the biggest studio that Nintendo has apart from themselves.
yeah, Monolith Soft have done way more than Xenoblade. They made Xenosaga for crying out loud, and people love that.
Mm.
They
And
made so they made Soma Bringer, and people never heard of that, but those that do, they say it's good.
Mm. They've helped Nintendo out so much with their franchises as well. Like they helped
Yeah.
out with Smash. They designed the world for Breath of the Wild, and you can see that here. Like in this trailer, in any Xenoblade trailer, or any Xenoblade game, you can see the world design is just second to none. Like it's the best world design in the industry, and I genuinely believe that.
And that's why I still believe Monolith Soft should help with Pokemon. They'll know what to do.
Apparently, they did help out with Legends Arceus, but I don't know.
I don't I did not hear about that. Like I'm gonna have to say citation needed on that one because I've heard nothing.
That's fair enough. I think, to be honest, I think I got twittered on that. So I think someone said it on Twitter, and I was like, "He's right," but he
No,
probably isn't.
it would be in the credits for the game, and people have not said anything about that. I mean,
Yeah, in that case, then probably not.
No disrespect to Legends Arceus. It is a good game, but you know, it's still a little rough. Like it's way better than Sword and Shield, and it's way better than Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. I actually cannot believe Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl were released in the state that they're in. Oh
Yes,
my
they were
god, those
awful.
games
Yeah,
are. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, they are the worst Pokemon games I've ever played. They are legitimately bad.
I didn't get it in the end, so I can't really comment.
I
But
feel like
I'm sort of glad I skipped out.
I feel like I owe Sword and Shield an apology. Like Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl just had no excuse.
Was it that bad?
It's super rough. It was released unfinished.
It was
Like
released unfinished. Yeah.
there was a big day one patch. You want to know what was in that day one patch?
Wasn't it like It was like music and stuff, wasn't it?
It was all the battle themes. It was the post game, the ending, the opening. Like
Oh
that
dear,
stuff was just straight up not on the cartridge at launch.
that is terrible. That.
The battle music was instead using this really horrible MIDI placeholder music, and it just sounds absolutely dreadful. Like, and the chibi art style, which could have worked, but they didn't make it work. The characters are still way too emotionless and expressiveless to really make use of the chibi art style. It just does not. It does not work. Not to mention the games are so buggy.
Yeah.
Like I've run into
Especially at
glitches
launch.
myself. I've run into random bugs myself, like the camera angle janking up, or like you remember Riley on Iron Island? He just straight up disappeared from me when he was walking around with me. Even in
Christ.
cutscenes, he was invisible but still talking. I just Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are honestly a disgrace. I actually do not recommend you buy them. The game is about 2 months old now, and it's 3 months old now, I think, and it's still unfinished. Like they still haven't added the Global Wonder Station yet.
Yeah.
I wanted to like the game so much, but no. I just beat the game and I pretty much don't want to think about it ever again. It is just a kind of a disgrace. It's not all bad. It's not all bad. Like honestly, a lot of remix music is excellent. And well, the game does work, but again, considering this is a remake, they should have done more. It's not worth it. I mean, I can't believe it. And I mean, I know I went on a bit of a tangent, but let's just forget
Go
about this
off.
and move on.
Well, I was going to say, because that's one of the things is that when you've got to compete with other RPGs on the system, like the Xenoblade series, it's. I mean, it'd be hard to meet for any game, but I mean, Xenoblade 3 is looking immense. The only thing I do have some reservations. I have more questions than reservations, but I'm pretty sure Melia is back. In the trailer we see a high NCO with a mask. Her hair is a bit longer. One of my big questions is how much longer after Xenoblade 1 and 2 is this set? Why are the worlds together?
We also see characters with core crystals on them.
We do, yeah, exactly, and that's one of the things people think. Oh, this is Nia from Xenoblade 2, and I will
Yeah,
say very quickly, if you haven't played Xenoblade 1 and 2, I personally am going to talk about spoilers for those games just because of how Xenoblade 3 is. So there's your warning.
yeah. It's not just any core crystal too, but they look like flesh eater core crystals.
Exactly, and but the character with the flesh eater core crystal does not sound like Nia, whereas the high Entia who was speaking behind the mask, that is Jenna Coleman. I'm 100% on that. And she even said when she did Future Connected, she did Future Connected interviews, and then she said, I think they're doing another one as well. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that or what have you. And I was thinking, maybe she's just confused Future Connected with, maybe she's confused the game with the epilogue sort of thing. But no, if she's doing like a whole other Xenoblade game, that she was right all along.
Well, whatever the answer is, it's happening.
It
Xenoblade
is.
3.
Yeah.
And, just watching that trailer over and over and over again,
Yeah, I've watched it so many times.
it's addictive. And, those last 40 seconds especially, where we just see the Mechonis sword and, like the carcass of the Orion Titan
Yeah.
together. Like, it's the box art from the first 2 games, like, together in one image.
Beautiful.
And then the music flourishes as the logo appears on screen along with the number 3. That's how you know this is gonna be something very special. Like, this has the potential to be Monolith Soft's magnum opus, I feel.
Oh yeah, I have said that I really hope it doesn't ruin the stories of 1 and 2, because 1 and 2 were original worlds that happened to be connected. That you find out at the end of the game. 3 is going to be building off what 1 and 2 did directly, which has not been done before in Xenoblade. So I have complete faith that Takahashi knows what he's doing with the story. I'm so interested to see where it goes.
I am not doubting Takahashi at all. I trust him very much.
Yeah.
I mean, it does raise a lot of questions, like, why are the worlds of the Bionis and the Mechonis and the world of Alwest together now? Like, what happened? How did this happen? Why did it happen? Because it doesn't really match up with the ending of Xenoblade 2, does it?
No, my only theory is that the conduit runs out at the end of Xenoblade 2 and it disappears.
Yeah.
The conduit for me, I think, along with Ontos, Logos, and Numa, they were the things that were powering Xenoblade 1's world. And now that the conduit's fucked off, I feel like maybe something happens and like the worlds just collapse into each other because the conduit isn't sustaining them anymore. That's my theory. I don't know if that's that, but that's one of the things is, if it was Xenoblade 3, I almost wanted it to be sort of a prequel to the first 2 games. I wanted to see what was this war that was going on with Klaus when he was in that station, when he made the decision to make the new world in Xenoblade 1. I wanted to see what was happening there. And I feel like going in the future is going to be super interesting, but I also hope that they explain what happened in the past as well.
Yeah. Again, I also think that contradicts Xenoblade 1's ending because, well, Shulk creates a new world as well because of,
Mm.
his world is dying. So he basically uses his new god powers to create a new world where everyone has free will, basically. And the only thing you see of the old world is like the ruins of the Bionis in the background.
Yeah. I mean, you've played Future Connected, haven't you?
Yeah, I finished that.
Yeah, so that's placed a year after Xenoblade 1, and the only thing that's really there is like the Bionis, like partial bits of the Bionis because it's collapsed, and you've got the floating Bionis shoulder, which is powered by, I think it's like by High-Entia technology or something.
Like that.
Yeah, this is something that I don't think a lot of people realise as well, is that Xenoblade, the Xeno series in general, is a sci-fi series. It's not fantasy.
Well, it's fantasy sci-fi.
Yeah,
But
it's not. Yeah.
yeah, the 2 elements are actually pretty commonly brought together in fiction.
But with Xenoblade especially, like it seems fantasy, and then every single Xenoblade game, apart from X, because that's just complete sci-fi from the beginning. But you get to the end of Xenoblade, and you're like, oh, it's to do with technology, these worlds and what have you. And yeah, I'm so interested in seeing how 1 and 2's worlds come together, because you have the High-Entia, you have the Gormoti. You might have Blades. I don't know. I don't really know, to be honest, with that
Like
one.
I said, we did see core crystals, so yeah, I think there are blades to some extent.
Yeah, they might not be in the same way, maybe. And this is it, because you got to think, how far is this set in the future? And I said this on Discord with a couple of you guys, but the only party members who could survive post Xenoblade 1 and 2, that far ahead, will be Melia, because she's High-Entia, and they live like up to 500 years, I think. And Nia and Zeke, because they're Blade Eaters and Flesh Eaters, so they have a much longer lifespan.
And also the Machina, which we haven't seen any Machina, have we? Like, they live thousands of years.
There's no Machina in the trailer.
I
So yeah,
I think they will be in there.
They've got to be in there. If it's the world, and this is what you think. Oh my god! Like you've got the face. You've got like Metal Face's face on that big machine, that big mechon, and you just think, oh, what's going on here? Like they found a way to control the mechon with HOMS. Maybe they're in control of the mechon now, and it's not just Egil brainwashing them or what have you. It's just so many questions.
Well, I think the main plot line is that there's like a war between like two sides, and
Yeah,
what if like one side is like the people, like the former people of Bionis and Mechonis, and the other side is the former people of All Rest?
that's what I think is going to happen. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's my theory.
you see that that of course in the party members, or at least two of them are going to be I think his name is Noah, the guy with the ponytail,
Yeah,
and
Noah.
I don't is it Mio the girl, the one with the flesh eater core crystal.
It was something like that. Hold on, let me just look it up real quickly.
Because I think they're going to be like dual protagonists, a bit like how Rex and Pyra were in
Alright, so yeah, you do
Xenoblade
have
2.
Noah. He's the guy with the Monado question mark. It actually looks like a combination of the Monado and the Aegis sword.
It does, yeah.
And then you have Mio. She's the Gomotti. She even uses the rings that Nia uses.
Yep.
You also have how do you pronounce her name? She's the high end tier with the staff.
Yeah. Well, it's a
Ernie?
staff, and she's got a rifle on the end of it, so it's like a combination of Melia and Sharla's weapon.
Yes.
He's
Well,
cool though, the guy in the white.
the guy in the white. Oh, you mean the guy with the origami creatures?
Yeah, like he can control. I don't know if he's controlling them via ether or that's completely new. That looks ace.
Yeah.
And I think there's an Inderline guy, the blue guy. I think he's Inderline. I've heard people theorize, which will make sense because like High Ensia, they live a long time as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Lance. He could be. He could be in the line. Yeah. Just so many questions, so much speculation. Oh, I just want answers.
I know. It's one of those really where a bit like Xenoblade 2. I've seen this trailer now. I almost don't want to see anything else. I just want to be thrust into that world and just want to experience it like I did the other two games. One thing I will touch on quickly is a lot of people are happy about the character designs this time round and how they're not a bit over the top like Xenoblade 2's were.
Yeah, they struck a good balance between 1 and 2 this time.
They did, yeah, and I'm glad they haven't gone like completely one way because people didn't like big tits or what have you. Because I mean the high end tier party member, she's got big knockers, but
Of course, you'd notice that.
well, they're not like Pyra and Mithra. Do you know what I mean? They're not like they're front and center. And even Xenoblade 1, you could take all the armor off. Any party member and have them nearly half naked. It's always been there in Xenoblade, but I think it's because Xenoblade 2 had it front and center that people complain about it more.
Well, gotta earn that T rating somehow.
I
Just have Malos say shit a bunch of times. There you go.
Shit! Yeah, he does say shit a lot, actually. I never had a huge issue with Xenoblade 2's character designs, but I will say it did give the game a bit of a bad rep in that sense, so I am glad that Xenoblade 3's toned it down.
There was that one character in Xenoblade 2 which I did think pushed the envelope a bit too far. I forgot her name. She had like this southern accent. What was her name again?
Is that Dahlia? Is that the
Dahlia,
the rabbit girl?
Yeah,
she was. That to me was so over the top that I found it funny. But again, like some people take it a bit more seriously. So I understand.
Yeah, and you have her interacting with kids at some point in like optional cutscenes. It's like, wow.
Just the fact that she was like this big bunny girl, I was like, that's a bit too much. But the thing, actually, I will say, she's the only blade that I haven't unlocked yet on Xenoblade 2. I'm still trying to grind through core crystals to get her to finish her quest, but Xenoblade 3 is coming out in September. I'm so utterly hyped for it, like you cannot believe. My only hopes are that I've got so much faith in them to make an incredible game that they could do whatever they want. I know it's going to be great. My only ask is that the soundtrack is up to standard with the rest of the series.
Oh, I wouldn't give them a benefit of a doubt. I know they will deliver.
Yeah. This is just said, me and Gavin have got so much faith in them that they could literally just toss anything at us, and even if we were a bit iffy about it, we could be like, yeah, they're gonna. It'll make sense in the final product. Like we know.
like we probably should hype responsibly, but fuck it, it's Monolith Soft, it's Xenoblade.
Yes, yeah, and I know that. I think when you played Xenoblade X, you weren't. I mean, you weren't massive on that game, were you?
No, I liked it. I mean, I just didn't care for the story because there was barely a story to
No,
begin with.
the story wasn't the focus in that game, and it was a bit weird to go into that game with it not being story focused when Xenoblade 1 and 2 most certainly are story focused.
Yeah.
And I think Xenoblade 3 is as well, which is going to be amazing. So,
yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the direct. That was so fun to talk about. Yeah, I loved. I mean, like I said, this is one of the best directs, so it was just that fun to talk about because it was so much fun to watch it. So, I mean, have you got any closing thoughts, Gavin, on the direct as a whole?
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up, and yeah, same here.
Even in spite of that weird baseball game.
Oh yeah, you know what? I forgot about that until you literally just said it, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, we talked about it, and then we just forgot all about it.
As we should. So there we go, guys. That was the direct. Maybe we might do this for more directs. Hopefully they're as good as this one in the future. So we'll see you next time. Bye bye.
See you at E3.